All right, there's 8 different Kentucky Derby prep races that are worth 100 points. We're going to analyze all 8, and the first one of those 8 is the UAE Derby run in Dubai, and it was won by the Japanese raider Crown Pride. Now, Crown Pride, as you can see from his past performances here, he debuted at 1 1/8 miles, won by 6 lengths at 8-1 odds. In his second career start, 13-horse field, won clear again by 3 lengths at 1 1/8 miles. He was 6-1 odds that day. He finally tasted defeat at Tokyo in a race which is kind of like basically their big mile dirt prep race for the UAE Derby. He was 6 feet and 3.5 lengths that day to a horse named Combustion. Now, before we watch the UAE Derby, we're going to watch Crown Pride's trip in this race because he had a lot of trouble that day. All right, Crown Pride is the number 9 horse. He's got yellow and black silks with red sleeves. The number 3 horse is the eventual winner, Combustion, for Godolphin. He's got the all blue silks. I believe he's got an orange cap, but we're going to watch the 9 and watch the amount of trouble the 9 has early in the race.
They run the first 125 on turf. They're ready to race and they're off and running. Geraldo Barrows commenced well out wide, but none better than C. Vixen in the middle with Mesmerizer. Combustion goes forward, and now El Paso up into third. Not too far away, Good Deal. Wider out, Geraldo Barrows. In between runners, Reyes, Jasper Jet. Back in behind them, Welcome News, followed by Line of Soul. A gap back to Taisei Drafong. 3 away, Osteria. Well back is Crown Pride, and Reyes is the last one as they go down the back straight. Rolling in front, it's C. Vixen, the jockey right on the horse's neck. Running third is El Paso. Out-trapped a little wide is Geraldo Barrows. Back on the inside, making up good ground is Combustion. Good Deal presses on past Mesmerizer. Wider out, starting to go on now, is Blitzfang. Even wider out, Jasper Jet. Mesmerizer loses ground. Line of Soul needs a bit of luck along the inside. Well back now, losing ground is Welcome News. Going past is Crown Pride and Taisei Drafong. Osteria well back, and Reyes is the last one. They swing for home, and C. Vixen still has it. Combustion's had a good run in behind them. El Paso peels out. Starting to run on wider out is Jasper Jet, even wider out Crown Pride. And Reyes is all over the place, but the jockey is right down the middle of the track, urging. Back on the inside, Combustion finds the front. Yuga Kawada go past C. Vixen. El Paso can't go with them. Nothing else going to attack. And down late now, Geraldo Barrows could be the only danger. Combustion goes on. Combustion will go on and score, and Combustion wins. Smokes him. Wins out from Geraldo Barrows. C. Vixen may have held on for third.
All right, you're going to see significant early trouble for Crown Pride at the break. He gets jammed up. The rider takes a hard hold here, and he's back a long way last. And it's at this portion of the running here, which is over the grass. They're going to link up with the dirt pretty soon. But your eventual winner here for Godolphin, look at the difference in early positions. About 6 lengths between the 3 and the 9 here. Now pay attention in the Dubai race coming up, how they get away and where they're positioned early. So anyway, Crown Pride is, he's run off the screen right now. He's essentially back in last, got jammed at the break under a hard hold. All right, you see the eventual winner here in a great spot. He's inside, basically going to get a pocket trip. The rail's going to open up for him, but watch this premature move here now on Crown Pride. He had that early trouble, and basically the rider is trying to, he's under stout restraint, and Crown Pride wants none of it. He wants to get in the race. So he's resenting the restraint of his jockey. He's trying to fight his rider here, and he wants to pull himself up into this race, whereas the rider's basically in a wrestling match with him. Look at the hold that he's got on this horse. He's really fighting with him here. The horse wants to pull himself in the race. He's hung out about 4 or 5 deep here, so he's wide. He's fighting the tactics of the rider. The rider's just trying to get him to settle down and relax, and he wants to, he just wants to. He was close to the pace in those 1 1/8 miles races, so All right, after watching that, now we'll watch the UAE Derby. You remember the silk colors of these two horses. One of them's Godolphin. The other's got those kind of yellow and black silks with the red sleeves.
What?
Two for second foot, one for Pinehurst. Alistair Cohen.
And Rewa Homer out of stallgate number 1 blew the start, gave away a couple of lengths. Pinehurst ridden early to get up handy. Summer is Tomorrow has natural gate speed and is right there. Combustion, the blue colours, is third. Now fourth is Sakifu, commits to a prominent place. Crown Pride, Get Back Goldie, Irwin's very deep. Ben Dukes against the inside rail and only racing about 4 to 5 lengths off the leader. They're going a good pace. Island Falcon, the all blue colours, hugs the rail a couple of lengths away to Arabian Gazelles. Azure Coast is not in a hopeless position at the moment. One off the rail, the white cap at the outside of Quality Boon. Withering it there outside, Rewa Homer. They followed by Gilded Age in the orange colours towards the end of the field, and Kiefer from a bad draw took his medicine, races at the end of the field, and there's got to be about 14 lengths in it, and they're going a cracking pace. Summer is Tomorrow, 1 length in front. It'll be headlines if he can sustain this. Pinehurst though on his back is second. Then comes Sakifu, races in third, the white sleeves and the white cap. Then comes Combustion, who just tracks the leaders. Ben Doog against the inside. Combustion being nursed back onto the bit. Crown Pride is in the red sleeves and the red cap. Island Falcon comes down the side of the course, racing about 6 lengths off the leader. Then 2 back to Irwin. Withering, Reina Homer's next best. Then comes Quality Boon, the orange and blue colours. Azure Coast is in a real spot of bother. Then comes Kiefer, tries to gain some ground. Get Back Goldie and Gilded Age look out of it, and they're about to straighten for home. 500 metres left to run. Summer is Tomorrow has led the whole way with Crown Pride right there. Ben Dukes towards the inside. Island Falcon races away in fourth. Sakifu and Combustion, but Summer is Tomorrow still the leader into the final 250. Summer is Tomorrow by 2. Crown Pride is all out in second. Ben Doog is third. Then comes Island Falcon. Here's Crown Pride getting to grips, getting the better of Summer is Tomorrow, who's run his race. It's Japan again. It's Crown Pride in the UAE Derby. The land of the rising sun is having a night to remember. Crown Pride beats Summer is Tomorrow. Island Falcon third. Ben Doog, Quality Boon.
All right, as you can see, Crown Pride, he didn't have the smoothest break this time. He's a little bit crowded there, but this is small potatoes, very minor stuff compared to the extreme trouble that he had in, his Japanese prep race there in Tokyo. So you see, he's basically just crowded a little bit early. But relatively, compared to his last race, I mean, that was a clean getaway. Now, they called this margin of victory 2 3/4 lengths. You got 159.76 for the 1 3/16. By comparison, let's see what they run the Classic in. Okay, so by comparison to the 1900 meter mark in the Classic, Country Grammar went 157.34. Life is Good went 157.53. Hot Rod Charlie 157.66. Midnight Bourbon 157.70. So these 4, top class older males, they all went over two full seconds faster, which, I mean, that's significant. That's 12 lengths. But 12 lengths would probably be the type of margin you'd expect for what is undoubtedly the top, older dirt horses in America versus, a fourth time starter. Now, I didn't even talk about the second place finisher, Summer is Tomorrow. He was loose on the lead. They were rolling right along early. They were going, pretty lively fractions, but he had a loose, uncontested lead, and for him to not be able to hold up, he's a horse that you could completely throw out in the Kentucky Derby. Summer is Tomorrow, the horse that runs second in the UAE Derby. He has the points to run in the Kentucky Derby. They said it's under consideration, but forget about it. If Summer is Tomorrow comes, just pitch him. Crown Pride's a little different. It's a little different story. He's kind of going to be your mystery horse in this race. In fact, he is the mystery horse. There's nothing that I see with him that says you got to toss him. I would say that it's definitely pretty unlikely that a Japanese horse, who hasn't raced in America is going to be able to come to America and win this race. But this is a horse that's going to stay the 1 1/4. Obviously is a solid horse on dirt, can come from off the pace. What you're going to want to do with him is pay attention to the clocker reports. In fact, of all the horses for the Kentucky Derby this year, this Crown Pride is the horse that I would pay most attention as far as what what clockers are saying about him, what kind of workout reports he's generating. If this is a horse that's doing really well here, training really well here, seems sharp, you hear stuff like that about him, you might have to take this horse seriously if that's the case. Hey, the Japanese just won the Breeders' Cup Distaff at 45-1 odds on dirt with Marsh Lorraine. They had a huge day on Dubai World Cup Day, including Crown Pride's win in the UAE Derby at a big price. Maybe Crown Pride can jump up in the Kentucky Derby and get a piece at big odds. But number one, you're going to want the big odds. And number two, it will be to even use him defensively on your tickets. I think you have to hear encouraging stuff coming with how he's doing, how he's training. So when you listen for them kind of clocker reports, Crown Pride is one horse, I think significantly more so than others, where you want to pay attention to what they're saying. And if it's very positive, you might want to include him. If they're talking about him like he's not acclimating well, or he's not training great, or he's not standing out, if that's the case, I mean, I think it would be too tall of an order and you'd want to toss him. But if there is one horse which, the workout report guys could sway me on, it's Crown Pride, because he can go 1.25 miles. He can handle dirt. He could come from off the pace. There are things to like about him, but this is a huge step up for, a Japanese invader coming to the Kentucky Derby. So I hope you enjoyed our look at the UAE Derby 100-point prep race. In our next video, we'll take a look at the Louisiana Derby.